a perspective I want to talk about, and this might be my Song of Songs video, or it might be called The Details. I'm going to be talking about art, men in the conservative movement, and the things they're talking about that no other woman seems to want to talk about. The male-female dynamic that I really like. I feel like this world is teaching women the opposite of that. You know, it went from you need a Prince Charming to you don't need anybody. You can do this by yourself and you'll be happy. And then there's also one of the things that the conservative dudes are talking about that kind of came up outside of can you lust for your husband or wife, what people are thinking about when they're together. You know, this is all in the context of marriage. And that was an interesting thought because I really think the core of pornography and the reason why it might attract men more than women is because there are parts of pornography that don't make sense or resonate with women. I don't know what men are thinking about. They might be thinking pornographic things and I don't care, but I'm saying like, I don't think like that. So I mean, maybe occasionally, but not always. And so that's what this video is going to be about. So there's going to be sexually suggestive stuff in here, and it's just hard to avoid it because when you have two competing forces, a man who wants to be manly, who wants to be masculine, and a woman who wants to be feminine and who wants to be, you know, fluffy skirts and nail polish and makeup, and you're trying to get these two people who ideas and minds that are completely different than each other to agree on something. Submission has to happen, and women don't want to submit, and they don't understand anymore because of brainwashing of the society that there is a power in submitting. There is power in that because you can conquer through submitting. The promise that's made between the two people are a guy comes down a notch and promises to be gentle, while a woman promises to submit emotionally, psychologically, physically, and we become extremely vulnerable on all kinds of levels, including and up to possibly, and I mean, it's a thing that does happen, we have to degrade ourselves for men on some level, privately. And nobody likes to talk about that we have to degrade ourselves for men to, or for a marriage to continue. That's why women, I believe, deserve marriage. This is my argument. This is the case I'm making. This is the video. I think women deserve marriage. Because then you're saying to him, I will degrade myself, meaning in the privacy of your bedroom, not like other places. And I will physically, emotionally, psychologically come down a notch if you promise to be gentle and play nice, and I will promise to wrestle. But this is the agreement we're coming to, and the reason why this works for you as a woman, this is what you're thinking. This dude will never wear a dress. I'll never get him to wear a dress ever. He's not interested in that at all. But first, by the hem of your skirt, you will absolutely wear that first. And then when you guys have children, by the cute hat that your daughter will force him to wear at a little teacup table, he will be dominated and he will be domesticated. That's the deal. And both your minds go that way at some point. It's no longer focusing on all those other things that bring children. And all of a sudden it becomes, oh wow, this has totally defined our life. Those little teacup parties, I miss that. You know, those baseball games, I miss that. Is that what you thought about going into it? Because there are some people who go into it going, first by the hem of my skirt, you're gonna wear a dress. By the hat of our daughter, you're going to be domesticated. That she's gonna force you to wear. It's gonna have a big, beautiful flower on top, and you're gonna be happy to be running around with little girls in dresses. And this is not the fantasy that you had, but this is what's gonna happen, and you're gonna be happy. So that's what I think. I don't know about other women, but that's what I'm thinking. Reality in this world doesn't teach you that. It doesn't teach you like you're supposed to want to domesticate somebody, not fix them, not change them, not say, hey, you got to be a different person or, you know, be more like me. But it's not attractive to have somebody who not only wants to wear a dress, but looks better in a dress than you. And why not? I mean, you're not going to be wearing a dress. You want to wear pants. So what used to create a circle, it's now two angles pointed outwards. You know, you don't want to be dominated and he does not want to dominate you because he's too busy running around in dresses looking better than you. So how do people, children in society continue when those forces are going opposite directions? Nobody teaches this. Nobody teaches that this is our secret, well, my secret agenda with my husband. You know, and when I met him, we were friends for a while, and he was a boxer, And, you know, we love to play fight. We love to, you know, run after each other and chase each other, which my daughter has seen this. And so on some level, you're asking a guy, like with play fighting, come down a notch in strength. And me and you can meet. And I will try to bring it up a notch and try to be more open to submission and being vulnerable. I like that dynamic. I think it's a great dynamic. And what has made me think about this is a conversation that I think it started with Matt Fradd and I think Dennis Prager, and then some other, you know, conservative voices stepped in and said, oh, you know, this is what I think of that conversation. And then Matt kind of responded. So I love following these things, but I'm noticing women are not talking about it. It's about porn. And I do think porn came from a dude's mind because we're not thinking those things. I think men are, because one of the questions that was asked that I thought was really interesting was one of the guys, I think it was Shapiro. He said, "Oh, well, when you're with your spouse, you're not thinking about like Aquinas. You're not thinking about theology." No, but kind of. I don't know what everybody else is thinking, but I feel like the Song of Songs. That's why I'm going to call it the Song of Songs. Is because I feel like Solomon, the reason why he pulled as many women as he did is because he understood something about women's minds, and maybe he had conversations with them. I don't know. Maybe it's how he thought. But you know, the hair on my husband's arm wrecks me. Like it totally absorbs me. There's something about what a man has, like his arms, the strength that I don't have. That just the feeling of that completely absorbs me, and I melt. You know, it's the details. It's the way I remember being preoccupied with the way the veins on my husband's arms looked. That preoccupied me for a long time. Where I wouldn't focus on him, I'd focus on like his cute hairline, and it's just stuff like that. So I don't know what dudes are thinking about, but I'm not having those thoughts that maybe are pornographic. I don't think like that. I mean, I have, but and I'm fascinated with who thought that was a good idea, but I don't know if that runs the same mindset as a woman, you know. Maybe some women think like that. I don't know. So that's the other thing. The other thing I want to talk about was art. Okay, I'm gonna put some videos down below, and it's the reason why I love art so much. It's because of the details, the focus, the way that things kind of get zoomed in on with art. How somebody pays so much, the fact that they've paid so much attention to the colors in the sunset, or the reflection off something, or just something about that I really, really, really love. I kind of feel like that maybe is why, or maybe female minds just work differently. But I'll put some really, really great videos down below from this channel I really love to watch. He takes all these different types of entertainment, whether it's music, movies, and he focuses in and kind of gives an analysis on specific things. And these videos that he does are works of art. Like they're art in themselves. I mean, sometimes I'll watch him and like get emotional because I'm like, how does he love something so much? And I wanted that for my YouTube channel. I wanted to focus in on things and make it very clear that it's through the love of Christ, through following his rules, his regulations, through, you know, loving him through obedience, being honest about things that nobody wants to talk about. Like, I feel like this is a message in a bottle. Nobody else, I've looked for it. Nobody else is talking about how that dynamic is so attractive and why it's there and what it means and what maybe the secret motivation and agenda is of a woman, kind of. Maybe. That's mine. I don't know about every other woman, but if that were in television or TV, maybe it would breed more people. Maybe women would go, oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, men's strength is very attractive. Their protection is very attractive. Maybe if the details were turned a little bit on its head and compared to what it is today, maybe things would be different. I think we're brainwashed. I think that society, nothing about it makes sense. And then we could look around and go, why is everything going weird? Why is everything so wrong? Why are we not having high birth rates? It's the entertainment. It's the things that we absorb ourselves in. The Bible, you know, gives the go-ahead for Song of Songs. I mean, it's there. It's in the Bible. So it's not like these things are bad. This channel that I was watching really inspired me to think, like, how to make the Bible more accessible and how to address things that's, you know, our culture doesn't blush at. It doesn't blush at the way that it's perverting us and changing our minds in a way that's negative. So Why do we blush at it? And I know why the conservative women haven't stepped in on this conversation, because it's rough, not good. But it needs to be said. And I'm glad that there are men in the conservative, right-leaning party. I don't know what to call these guys, but I'm glad they're talking about it. So this is Linda of Christ is King forever. May God be with you.